a very warm welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis for the 2nd of April 2024. Now let's quickly head to the agenda for today. So first of all, we have the editorial segment, and today we have a very interesting article. So this is with respect to a circular which was released by the central government, whereby it banned the selling, the import, and the rearing of 23 dog breeds. And there is a response from 3 high courts with respect to this circular of the central government. We'll have a look at what is the circular, what is the response, respectively. Secondly, we talk about the news updates for the day, and this is going to be followed by the last segment where we have a look at the legal news. So without further ado, let's start with the article discussion. The title of this article is How 3 High Courts Have Dealt with Centre's Circular on Banning 23 Breeds. Let's see the context of it. So over the last week, 2 high courts, they've intervened to stay the implementation of the central government's circular on banning the sale, the import, and the keeping of 23 foreign dog breeds, which include Rottweilers, wolf dogs, and pit bull terriers. Now, which are those high courts? What is the ground for stay? That we'll see later. The circular of the central government, it was released on 12th of March. It also directed persons having those dog breeds which fall in this list of 23 foreign dog breeds. They are mandatorily required to sterilize their dogs, their pets. So this is a very, very important point of challenge and contention between both of these parties, that is the owners of these pets and the central government. So we'll have a look at what is the discussion around this point. While the Karnataka High Court, it stayed the circular on Tuesday, which is 19th of March, the Calcutta High Court ordered a partial stay just 2 days later, and then the 3rd High Court concerned is the Delhi High Court. So the Delhi High Court also sought the centre's response to this plea challenging the circular on Thursday. So what are the 3 high courts concerned? We have an update from Karnataka High Court. What has the High Court done? It has stayed the circular. Second, we have the Calcutta High Court. From Calcutta High Court, we saw a partial stay. So there is not a complete stay, but a partial stay. Then comes the Delhi High Court. So the Delhi High Court merely has now, as of now, sought the centre's response on a plea and has not put a stay on implementation of these guidelines. All right, so let's see what does the circular say. See, the March 12 letter from Dr. O.P. Chaudhary is the Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. The letter concerned, it directed chief secretaries of all the states and the union territories to make sure that no licenses or permissions are issued for all of these purposes, which is what? The sale, the breeding or keeping of dog breeds which are dangerous for human life. The circular aimed to address the concerns about human deaths caused by the dog bites from ferocious breeds which are kept as pets. Now, here you must have noted that there is a mention of dogs, which are dangerous for human life or ferocious dog breeds. So what are the dog breeds which are considered to be, let's say, ferocious or dangerous for human life? The circular itself has mentioned these dog breeds, some of which I would like to point out. So one, we have Pit Bull Terrier, then we have Tosa Inu, American Staffordshire Terrier, then you have Fila Brasileiro, Dogo Argentino, then you have American Bulldog, and followed by a couple of other Central Asian Shepherd Dog, then there's Caucasian Shepherd Dog, then you have Rottweilers, Terriers, and every dog of the type which is commonly known as band dog or band dog. So this is a list of breeds which, with respect to which the circular is going to be implemented. So banning the rearing and the importing of these breeds, the circular also directed dog owners to sterilize them. Now, these recommendations, they came from an expert committee which was formed under the Animal Husbandry Commissioner's chairmanship. It was said to include various stakeholders, organizations, and experts as members. However, two High Courts stayed the circular. Let's see the matter before each of these High Courts. And first, we start with the High Court of Calcutta. How did the Calcutta High Court stay the circular? Let's see. So, in the case of Tanmay Datta versus State of West Bengal, the Calcutta High Court partially stayed the central government circular. Datta, who is the petitioner, he is a dog owner and he contended that there is no law in India which permits killing or banning of dogs. A single judge bench of the High Court directed the centre to file an affidavit containing details of the expert committee members and their credentials. And this is so as to understand as to, what is the reasoning behind the recommendations of the committee, and therefore the credentials of these members is sought. The court also found substance in the petitioner's argument that the directive to sterilize dog breeds, it could have a fatal effect on those dogs, and particularly puppies who are not, older dogs. So it is rightly pointed out that pets, they have been directed to be mandatorily sterilized. However, sterilized, which is not sanctioned by any norm of animal sciences before a particular age. As such, even young puppies, they may have to be sterilized, which may prove fatal to them. This is what the court said. So the court has also, conceded or acknowledged this contention of the petitioner. However, the court added that stay didn't apply to circular's directive of banning the import and sale of such dogs due to the commercial connotation of such activity. In this plea, the petitioner also argued that although the center circular was issued according to Delhi High Court order from last year, the High Court never ordered a ban. We'll have a look at the Delhi High Court order in a bit. So what has happened here, please note down. This is why we said that it is a partial ban or partial stay, by the High Court. So the court added that the stay, it didn't apply to the circular's directive of banning the import and sale. That the High Court said is okay. There's no stay on that. The stay is on this aspect where the circular has said that you cannot breed or you cannot keep these sort of dogs, and the sterilization aspect also. Okay, so let's see what is the Delhi High Court's order. So last year, a law firm by the name of Legal Attorneys and Barrister, it filed PIL to ban certain dangerous dog breeds with the contention that they were banned in over 35 countries, including UK and USA. Last year in December, a division bench, including the acting Chief Justice, directed the centre to decide on the petitioner's representation very expeditiously, which is in a time-bound manner, very speedily, preferably within a period of 3 months. So this was the last year order which was mentioned here. Now, as far as the recent the case before the Delhi High Court is concerned, the Delhi High Court was approached in this particular case. What is the name of it? Sikandar Singh Thakur and others versus Union of India. Here, the court dealt with a challenge to the circular of March 12, where the petitioner argued against the sterilization mandate. The plea said, and I would like to quote it, by failing to adhere to established scientific protocols or engage in comprehensive research methodologies regarding canine behavior, temperament, and risk factors associated with dog-related incidents, this impugned notification, it lacks the necessary credibility and legitimacy which is required for such regulatory interventions. The March 21 circular, on March 21, a single judge bench of the High Court sought a response from the centre on this particular plea. Now we come to the Karnataka High Court. So, and we analyze and see as to what is the reason for which Karnataka High Court put a stay here. So, 19th of March, a single judge bench of the High Court acted on a plea which was jointly filed by a professional dog handler and Rottweiler owner What is the name of this person or this entire case for that matter? It is Shri King Solomon David and another versus the Joint Secretary and others. Here, the petitioners claimed that the expert committee, which recommended issuing the circular, did not consult any stakeholder before making this particular circular and the decision. Now, the court said that until the Deputy Solicitor General of India produces those documents that went into decision making of the impugned circular, it shall remain state, but only in the state of Karnataka. The High Court also noted that the effect of the circular, it is pan-India, and it could lead to a devastating effect on the 23 breeds. The Deputy Solicitor General of India argued that the circular was issued on the strength of the Delhi High Court's December 6 order. However, the court pointed out that the Delhi High Court had unequivocally directed that all the stakeholders concerned, they must be consulted before you take any action. The circular, though, refers to members of several stakeholder organizations being a part of the expert committee, there are several who would not be heard, the court said. For instance, the petitioners claim that Kennel Club of India, which is the official body in the country for the registration of litters, it wasn't heard. They added that identifying a particular dog breed as ferocious and dangerous for human life, it required a profound expertise in identifying whether those breeds they are appropriately trained or not. Several listed breeds, they are identical to other Indian breeds which are not a part of the circular, the petitioners also argued. Listing the matter for further hearing on 5th of April, we'll keep a track of it when the hearing takes place. The court reiterated Delhi High Court's directive to consult all the stakeholders rather than a few. And now we proceed to the next segment. So now we proceed to the national news category news, and this is the first update here. A 900-year-old Kannada inscription, which goes back to the Kalyana Chalukya dynasty, it has been discovered at a place which is called the Gangapuram. So this is essentially a temple town in the Mahabubnagar district of Telangana. So for the purpose of your exam, what you may note down is what is the inscription, where is the location of its discovery, and what sort of a dynasty does it belong to. So this inscription, it was issued in June of 1134 CE by the customs officers of a son of one of the emperors of this particular dynasty, and it records the remission of income which was accrued through toll taxes. Next up is this update in the category of awards. Indian British writer's book on AI, it is shortlisted for Women's Prize. The inaugural, that is to say the maiden edition. So the inaugural Women's Prize for non-fiction, it is announced a shortlist of 6 books, including this particular book, which is titled Code Dependent, Living in the Shadow of AI, and this is by an Indian British journalist and commentator, Madhumita Murkya. This book, it explores the impact that artificial intelligence has on human society. The other books that have been shortlisted are Thunderclap, A Memoir of Art in Life and Sudden Death. This is by Laura Cumming. Secondly, we have Doppelganger, A Trip into the Mirror World. This is by Naomi Klein. Then we have another book by the name of A Flat Place by Noreen Masood. Next up is All That She Carried, The Journey of Ashley's Sack, A Black Family Keepsake. This is by Tia Miles. And the last being How to Say Babylon, A Jamaican Memoir. This is by Sophia Sinclair. So the common thread in all of these books, it is their originality of voice and their ability to turn very complex ideas and personal trauma into compelling prose. Moving on to the next update. So this is with respect to Bharat Ratna. President Murmu confers Bharat Ratna awards upon L.K. Advani, Karpoori, Thakur, and 3 others. President Draupadi Murmu will confer the Bharat Ratna upon former Prime Ministers Chaudhry Charan Singh and P.V. Narasimha Rao. Also upon eminent agricultural scientist M.S. Swaminathan and another person being former Bihar Chief Minister Karpoori Thakur, and this award will be conferred upon the Chief Minister posthumously. The President will present the Bharat Ratna Awards at the Rashtrapati Bhavan to the four eminent personalities who were nominated last month for receiving this highest civilian award. So now let's talk about the award itself, because these are some of the static facts that may find place in your exams. So the Bharat Ratna, please remember, it is the highest civilian award of the Republic of India. Secondly, it was instituted on 2nd of Jan in 1954. Please remember this. This is very important. This award is conferred in recognition of exceptional service or performance of the highest order without distinction of any kind, be it racial distinction, occupational, position, or gender-based distinction. This award was originally limited to achievements in these categories. And what are those? Arts, literature, science, and public services. But there was a change which came about in December of 2011, where the government expanded the criteria to include any field of human endeavor. Next up is an update in the segment of appointments. Nidhu Saxena is the new MD and CEO of Bank of Maharashtra. The central government has approved the appointment of Nidhu Saxena as the Managing Director and the Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Maharashtra. Nidhu Saxena, he will take over the top leadership role at the Bank of Maharashtra from A.S. Rajiv, who has been now selected as the Vigilance Commissioner in the Central Vigilance Commission. This is also very important. You may make a note of it. So who has been selected as the Vigilance Commissioner in the Central Vigilance Commission? It is A.S. Rajiv, and he was earlier the MD and CEO for Bank of Maharashtra. Now this has brought us to the international segment for today. US welcomes new Palestinian government following its call for political reform. The United States, it is welcomed to the formation of a new Palestinian autonomy government, signaling it is accepting the revised cabinet lineup as a setup towards Palestinian political reform. The Biden administration has called for a revitalizing the West Bank-based Palestinian Authority in hopes that it can also administer the Gaza Strip once the Israeli-Hamas war ends. The Palestinian Authority administers parts of the Israeli-occupied West Bank. It is headed by Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who has not faced an election in almost 2 decades. Now, this has brought us to the legal updates for today, where we have an update from the Delhi High Court. So, the Delhi High Court is recently held. This is with respect to CPC. So, the Delhi High Court has held that the petitioner, having unconditionally withdrawn the earlier petition. So, please understand and try to follow it. What is the High Court said? That suppose there is a petitioner, he earlier filed a petition and then the petition was withdrawn. So having unconditionally withdrawn the earlier petition and liberty being specifically declined to the petitioner. So petitioner filed a petition, then he withdrew it, and while withdrawing the petition, he did seek liberty to file the petition again, but the liberty was declined. So then such a petitioner is precluded from filing the fresh petition seeking the same relief that was earlier withdrawn by the petitioner. For this purpose, the bench placed a reliance on a Supreme Court judgment in the case of Sarguja Transport Services versus State, I'll confirm the name once. So, in which the Supreme Court explained that the principle underlying Order 23 Rule 1 CPC, it should be extended to a written petition in the interest of administration of justice, not only on the ground of res judicata, but on the ground of public policy, and to discourage litigants from indulging in bench hunting tactics. So, essentially, in this particular case, the Supreme Court had earlier held that, if there is a written petition, then the rules of Order 23 Rule 1 CPC should also be made applicable to such a petition, and it is on the ground of public policy, and this is in the interest of administration of justice, so that these litigants, they're discouraged from, let's say, filing a petition before a particular forum and then withdrawing the petition with the sole motive that I'm going to file this petition again, seeking the same relief with the same sort of facts before another forum. So what is the litigant essentially is doing? The litigant is bench hunting. So the name of this particular matter is Jyoti Grandson Services India Private Limited versus Union of India and others. This has brought us to an end of our TNA. In case you want to get access to the free study materials or the TNA slides that have been used in this video, I would highly encourage all of you to join our Telegram channel. And for doing that, you may click on the link which is given in the description, or you may scan the barcode here. Now, these are the point of contacts for you to get in touch with LawSikho. The quiz, which is based on the previous day's TNA, it is also going to be made available in the description of this video. Thank you so much for being with us and have a wonderful day ahead.